Hello, this is Love and the Sparkle with Cindy. I'm Cindy. This is my second blinging in the new year 2022. I will see if I can turn this off and you can see it. I don't know if you can see it. There we go. But there is all the bling. Okay. And I am adding, I believe this is, and I didn't have enough to do the whole area. So what I have done is I mixed it in with the color, and it's number 138 from DAC. It's one of their colors. And it is going to go up in these wings. And then that will be the last of my bling. And it's just mixed all throughout here, so I'm not even sure which one's an AB, which one's not. So it'll just be sprinkled throughout. And this painting came from Belgium Aristocratic Diamond Painting. It was bought over 2 years ago. And so actually for 2 years, it doesn't look that bad, but it's a poured glue. The poor doggy, he's got all them bubbles, rivers, you name it, on them that I'm going to have to work for probably an hour to get it straightened out, which is going to kind of bite, but you do what you got to do. The ones that I have gone through and know that they are copyright issues, they will not be shown on here, because there are a few that were bought before I knew anything about copyright issues, stolen art, any of that stuff. So those will not be shown on here. Just the ones that I'm pretty sure aren't. And I'm pretty sure this one's not, because it looks more like a stock image. Now I have the one where it's got the lady wrapped up around the dragon. That one probably is. And I put in an application with DAC for their affiliate program. I sent one to Craftably, but they sent me kind of a weird email back. So I was like, okay, whatever. Trying to contact Crafties. And then if I can get some, I will put them in the description. I don't know if anyone wants a Patreon. If y'all do, let me know. I do have the Buy Me a Coffee. I'm still learning. I finally figured out how to make thumbnails. Not the best thumbnails, but at least it's a thumbnail. So, I'm getting there. Slowly but surely. As I get better at it, they'll be improved. Like I said, I'm not going to edit stuff out. So you'll just get the whole hot mess if it's a hot mess. You'll get the down and dirty. Wednesday, I'm not going to be able to do nothing because I got to drive in to have my dad take me in Little Rock to see the surgeon. And then I got to make an appointment with my own doctor to get some paperwork done up. And the weather here has been, we went from 73 degrees to a high of 40 and a low of 16. It is crazy. I don't mind cold, but, get rid of the string for the yo-yo. That's kind of much. Kind of much. And let me see. This goes for the whole month. There is another event called Ticket to Ride, and that's Crafting Journey And she's with someone else. I'm not sure who it is. And that one, you pick a destination, you know, a meadow, a mountainscape, a lake, a city, and submit it. And you sign up, they give you a passport. And as you put in your pictures, you get stamps on your passport. And then you win prizes according to how many stamps you have. So that might be a fun one to do. The Wolf Along is going along, and that's on Wolfpack. I'm not sure if she's giving out gifts or not. So there's 3 events right there for the month of January. I myself have 3 whips going. I have the Rainbow Bright, which is massive. It's like a 60 by 80. It's huge. Did not realize she was so big. And then, of course, my Josephine Wall, which I'm finally getting to do the wolves. So we'll actually see those come alive. And I'm thinking about adding some sparklers in it. I'm going to take my box, or not sparklers, but ABs to it. I'm going to take my box of ABs because I had bought the special pack where it was like 70 of them for like $80. So I got a lot of colors. And so like the waterfall, and I might put some glow in the dark in the waterfall, and you know, put in some ABs and the fairies headdresses and things like that. You know, bling up the moth eyes. There's a lot of stuff in it to be blinged. Her forehead. So her forehead is done. So I'll be getting to her face here in a couple of weeks. So you can join me on the whipping chats for that. I usually do a whipping chat with that one, so y'all can see it come alive. And then you can put your projects, you know, in the comments. It's just a giant Hade. Giant, giant, giant Hade. It's being done on a blank canvas. They are much cheaper now than they were when I bought them, because I had to buy it as a custom of 120 by 160 or 170, because it's just like a little bit under that, and they didn't have that size, couldn't do that size. I might buy my NYX gems from Jaded Gem Stop, because they're resin, and I watch her on YouTube. She seems really nice. See if I have a better experience with it. You can also go to some stores on AliExpress that sell them by weight. I saw someone that bought them by weight and bought 50 grams of them, and it was quite a few colors and quite a bit of each color. You know, and that way you can have a pretty good little stash of ABs, so when you're doing a picture, if you want to just add a few here and there, you have it. Oh, it's too far down. So, you know, that would be cool. See, what else have I found? Oh, they have Tic Tac boxes now that are square instead of the little rectangles. And those look really interesting. Those look kind of cool. I think I would like those better than the little ones, because the little ones are so tiny, and after you've used them for a little bit, the lids get really to where they don't want to stay down. They don't want to stay on. It's funny, I was calling my daughter today because I had a question I wanted to ask her. And lo and behold, as soon as she answered the phone, I had brain sieve, and I could not for the life of me remember what I wanted to tell her to save my life. I'm going to start making bullet points. So I have just kind of like a bullet point of a topic. Because when you get on here, you kind of go brain dead and you can't remember squat. Kind of. Getting old is for the birds. It's for, I don't know why they call it the golden years, because there's nothing golden about this. It really bites. You hurt, it bites. It just really bites. Because you get where your knuckles hurt, your hands hurt, your knees hurt, your back hurts. It's just everything kind of hurts. It's no fun, guys. No fun whatsoever. I'm going to try to start lightening my hair back up because I think I went too dark with it. So each time I dye it, I'll just put a lighter shade on and maybe it'll start lightening up. Slowly but surely. I mean, there's other ways you could do it, but that don't cost a fortune, but I don't think I want to do them because then I'd end up with orange hair. And I've had orange hair once and it wasn't cool. I've had the greeny hair from trying to bleach it and that wasn't cool. And so no. I'll just, every time I do my roots, do a shade lighter to start lightening up the bottom. Because I went a little bit too dark. My natural color is a dark, well, a medium auburn, and right now I got dark auburn on. And you know dark auburn is just really dark. So we will just keep trying to go lighter. So y'all enjoying January yet? It's just started. So I think tonight, when I get done with this color, because I think this is the last, yeah, this is the last bling color. The rest of them will be just a regular color. And so, after I get this in here, I will go to working on the hate again. I might do a couple of videos, split them up. And then tomorrow I'll do the unbagging. Get that up for you. And maybe working on that one canvas. And then sometimes, if you can't find a picture that you want somewhere, you can go to Heaven and Earth and look up the artist and just buy a pattern and then do it yourself. And I have found blank canvas, but I think it's for round, which if you do one in round, the white is going to show through, just like with the mystery paintings, how the white showed through, because it won't have the color behind it, and then the area around the drills will be white. So that's one reason why most of your Heaven and Earth designs are square. And you could do a round, but you're going to have a lot of white. The only way you wouldn't would be to get it pre-printed, but then it's printed with the smaller square area, so your drills wouldn't fit because the squares are smaller. Just by a little bit. That's one reason why I like my moonstones and my mermaids. They're a little small, is because they were made for squares. Even though they're round, they're made to go on a square canvas because they're made smaller. But by the time you get this up and you're standing where you need to be with it, you're not going to notice. All you're going to see is the sparkle. And this one I'm going to put up where my Halloween is still hanging. Just got to find a way to get up there and get it down. But I'll get up there and take it down and put this in its frame and put that in my portfolio. I have a portfolio that's for like 30 by 40s. And then I think one that's for like 50 by 70s. One's massive and one's little. That way I can put my bigger paintings in the massive one and put my little paintings in the little one. Okay, that side done. That looks pretty good. And that way you'll get a little sparkle from it. I mean, it's not sparkle in the whole area, but it's in a lot of the area. Okay. My dog's over there grumbling. Last night it was so cold. 2 of them did go out, but the other one, that cold air hit him across the room, and he looked at me like I was a crazy person and just turned around and walked off and went back in the bedroom. He was like, nope, I want no part of that air. That is cold. We're done. Bye. It's like, now if they could go out and run, they'd be ecstatic. But I won't let them run because I don't want them to get hit. And they like the car chase. If they could just sit there and look at a car go by, it'd be all right. But they don't. They like the car chase. I have to say one thing for my grandkids. They'll have wonderful memories of their great-granddad, you know, because my dad lives right across the road from me. And every time they come and stay with me, they go to Papa's and hang out at Papa's for about 30, 40 minutes. And then they come back home. But, you know, they'll have wonderful memories of Papa because they've actually really got to know him. Instead of just occasionally, you know, see him and he's just this old dude. They have actually gotten to know Papa. Because every time they come here, they head over there. It's like 9 o'clock in the morning. Can we go to Papa's? I'm like, Papa's probably not even awake yet. Because as he's gotten older, he likes to sleep later. And so they're like, okay, and they'll wait till about noon, and they go, now can we go to Papa's? And it's like, yeah, go. Just, you know, look both ways before you cross the road, even though there's only one house past us on the road. And it's my cousin and her son that live down there. And waiting for my I'm not my heaven and earth, but my DAC to come in, my Diamond Art Club. It's the one with the Christmas lights and the little penguins that go walking across. That thing is so darn cute. I couldn't resist. And it was a pre-order, so I think it ships between the 31st and the 10th. So maybe next week it'll ship out. But it was so cute. All them little penguins just taking off across in front of that window. And I'll put it up next year instead of the festive fireplace. Just rotate them out. Because I don't have enough big walls to put all them up. And none of them are small. And I want to put little helpers up, so I only have 2 walls that I can use. The one above the TV and the one above the couch. So it looks like it's going to be those 2 walls. And I guess I'm not doing horribly because I'm up to 174 views in 2 weeks. Because I've only been making videos for 2 weeks. And I have 14 watch hours. So I'm making slow progress. Slow progress. Too bad people don't watch like I watch, because I just put it on for background sound and then just do my whipping chats, or my whips. And they're just on for the duration, so people get good analytics from me. And some people I thought I had subscribed to that I didn't, so a couple people actually got a new subscriber from me, because I was like, how come I'm not seeing their videos? And it was like, because you didn't subscribe. And I figured out if I log in on my phone as well as the TV, then I can comment. Because on the TV, you really can't comment. And so I found that I can comment that way. And so I've been, getting out and commenting more people's lives. And getting my name out there. Maybe someday someone will say, maybe she's got a channel. I'm going to go check. Would be nice. Okay, and I'm kind of doing checkerboard over here. And that's just where you do every other drill. And then you go back and fill it in. And that makes them where they stay a little straighter. And then this one, I'll just put one in the middle. Do one at the bottom. And one at the top. But that way they stay a little straighter as you just fill in the holes. And I've been teaching my granddaughter these little tricks. She started her square, and actually it looks pretty darn good. Because I put cards, I have some Zox cards. And I put them up and down along the edge, because if you'll put a credit card or a Zox card or, Kroger card along the edge, and then put your first row right up against that, you'll have a straight edge. It won't be all crooked, and it'll keep it straight. And so I did that for her. She had to fit it first, because she was like, why are you putting that on my canvas? And I said, it'll make it better. And she settled down, and then she was like, oh, because she had a nice little thing to use. This one only has 19 colors, so I was able to use a Harbor Freight box, which I loved. Now, if you go on the Michaels and order the what are they? Something mates. Well, if you order it and just order it outright, believe it or not, you're going to get like 8 of them. Because I was like, why are these so expensive? I couldn't figure it out. The box came in. There was like 8 of them in it. I was like, oh, that's why they're so expensive. And I do have one that the little latchy thing won't catch, and I have to go in with my pen and kind of catch it and move it over. That is something I've had to do. And that's no fun. No fun at all. There you go. And how is your weather? Put a comment how your weather is. We didn't get any snow. We just got the cold where I'm at. But it did get cold. But put a comment what your weather did. I remember when I lived in Maine, starting in Halloween, I would just take the screen out of the screen door and pass candy out that because it was so cold. Kids were out with their snowsuits under their costumes. I, like a fool, thought, oh, I only need 2 credits to finish out the semester. And I thought, oh, I'll take downhill skiing and cross-country skiing because it's the 1 day a week. It's on the weekend. I did not realize that it was going to be at times 80 below and everything was frozen solid. It was not snow, it was ice. So you're trying to learn to ski on ice. It was horrible, horrible, horrible. And I was so bad at it that my teacher told me that if I didn't come back, she would pass me because I only took them pass-fail. So I took her up on that offer. Whenever you got little kids over on the ski lift yelling, "Hey, lady, do you need help?" I figured it was a bad thing. I broke my glasses, thought I was going to die. Got dumped off the ski lift, dumped my instructor off the ski lift. The only trail near us was not a beginner. And so I went down that trail on everything but my feet. I went down on my butt. I went down on my head. I went down on everything but my feet. And she was like, I will make you a deal. You don't come back, and you're passed. And I was like, thank you, Jesus. Because that was not fun. So that was my... Because I didn't need much PE because I had been prior military. And so your basic training counts for all your PE, but I only needed 2 credits. And I really was like, oh, I don't want to think. Because I had a bunch of heavy-duty science classes. So I thought, oh, well, this sounds like it'd be a breeze, you know. Just stand up and jiggle down the hillside. Yeah, no. Not so much fun when it's so cold. And it's not snow, it's ice. That was a real learning experience. I'd rather go down on an inner tube or a sled. That's all right. But on skis, no. My knees just aren't that strong. I would do the splits and everything else. It was not pleasant. And then, of course, I worked on those nights. So after I drove 100 miles round trip to go to those classes and get tortured all day, I would work from 3 to 11 as a unit secretary. Yeah, those were the days. Those were the days. But that's how I got my foot in the door at the hospital I worked at. And up there, you know, it was like a very small community hospital. And of course, you got 6 feet of snow outside, and you get some crazy person that tries to sneak out the door. Then you figure out they've snuck out the door, and you're out there trying to find them in the snow. It was not fun. Not fun at all. And I remember when Desert Storm started, I was at work. My kids were at home. They were latchkey kids because their dad was in Korea. And the oldest one was like 11. Well, when they first dropped the first ordinance, I don't know how I guess they were watching the news. I don't know why they were watching the news. But whenever that happened, all of a sudden, all the lights on the base went out. I mean, all of them. Even the ones at the hospital went out. I mean, all of northern Maine, the lights went out. And they called me at work, and they were hysterical. And they were like, they're bombing us. That's why the lights are out. We're going to die. They're bombing us. And they were like, we got candles on. I was like, well, blow out the candles. Get a flashlight. I'll be home in a minute. I looked at my boss and I was like, I hate to do this to you, but I got 3 kids that think they're being bombed right now, and I gotta go. And so I had to go home, calm all these kids down, tell them we weren't being bombed, power just went out, it would be back shortly, and calm them all down. Now you can't do latchkey kids, but back then we did. My neighbor would be like right there, and she knew they were home. And so she was like the babysitter. The oldest one knew that if anything happened, to go get her. And usually they were asleep when I left because they were that night. I don't know why they were up. Because I didn't leave for work until because I worked 12 to 8 or something like that. 12 to 7. No, 11 to 7. And so I would leave about 10:30, and they would be already in bed asleep. So I don't know why they got up. But of course, you know, everybody knew what was going on. Because a lot of the base had mobilized over there. A lot of our friends mobilized over there. A lot of women got caught cheating at that time because, you know, their husbands would be like, well, I'm leaving out. And they wouldn't wait until they even took off. And they'd have someone else in the bed. And then the husband's, you know, deployment would get canceled for the day. And he'd come in and walk in and find them. Had a lot of that going on. That was just nuts. I was just like, really? You couldn't wait? I mean, some people are just crazy. I could not understand that one. You know, why could you not even just wait until he got in the air at least? I know my husband was in Korea for a year and got to come home at Christmas. and I wouldn't let him call home unless it was an emergency, except for one 5-minute phone call a month. Because back then we didn't have email, we didn't have internet, didn't have any of that neat stuff. So you got a 5-minute call the military paid for, and that was it. Well, he got over there and called me collect and talked forever, which was all fine hunky-dory until I got that phone bill in the mail, and it was like $2,000. I freaked out. I actually hid it from myself and couldn't find it. I had to call him to give me another one because I couldn't even find it to make payment arrangements because I hid it from myself. You know, kind of thing of you hide it, you don't have to deal with it, you still got to deal with it. But I told him, I said, oh, no, 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 no. We don't call unless it's important. You're dying. Someone's dying. You know, making arrangements to come home. But, yeah, we're not making $2,000 phone bills every month. Can't afford that. And so it was rough back then to be a military wife, because you had no internet. So it was like, if they were gone, they were gone. There was no cell phones. It was like they got whatever phone allotment time the military gave them, and that was it. That was it. And if it wasn't enough to suffice, you were out of luck. I mean, it was, you better have some good friends, because they were your support system, because you were usually, states away from home. I mean, I was from Arkansas. We were in northern Maine. And he was in Korea. And he flew over the day after I graduated school. He came to my pinning ceremony and then went to mobilize and left. And my mom had to come up when I had to go test, because that was back in the day when there was no internet, there was no computers. And so you had to go somewhere in the state, sit for 2 days of 16 hours of testing. And then you still didn't find out if you passed for like 6 to 8 weeks. So I flew her up from Arkansas to watch the kids. So that was her first experience with my littles for a few days. Yeah, that was loads of fun. And then back then you worked as a graduate nurse, which I think they're letting them do now because of the panoramic. And so you worked as a graduate nurse on a graduate license until your test results came in, and then they changed it over to a permanent license. But you had to pay to get it changed over to a permanent license, which kind of bit, but oh well. Oh, I see I missed an E. I'm going to have to go back and get an E. I had to go back and get 4 moonstones and put down here, because I was missing some moonstones. But that is one thing you are going to have happen. You are going to get through with the color, and you're going to put it away, and then all of a sudden you're going to be going along, and then you're going to see it. And it's going to be, now I looked everywhere and did not see one. Where did that come from? And then a lot of times you'll go back and you'll get that color, and then you cannot find it again. You'll have to hunt and hunt and hunt and hunt and hunt. It's like, I know I just saw that. Where is it? That happens so much. But yeah, in this art, you can do whatever you want. Like me, cutting off one of my legends to make stickers. Because I don't draw so well, and I know it. Don't have to tell me, I know it. I know I don't draw so well. So I just make stickers the best way I can. Now, if it had come with an inventory sheet, I would have used it and just cut it off. But since it didn't, I did it this way. And one of these days, I will make you a storage containers that I have, the ones I have on hand. Some I use, some I don't. What I do with them is when my granddaughter wants to do a kid, or my daughter-in-law, I farm out them ones to them. And of course, one of my favorite ones, my daughter was like, "Oh, can I use that?" And it just became her Christmas present because I knew I wasn't going to get it back. And that's the one that has 60 little jars in it. And then I think the ones I have my Heaven and Earth designs in, they have 38 jars? I think 138 jars each. But since I was doing 238 colors, I figured I might need them. And I do have some that are empty. And I got a couple colors that want them down to like 10 in the whole picture. And want them down to like 2. I got 2 spots left that use that color. That's going to be kind of cool because I'll have one I'm done with. But I don't think that's going to happen until I get to the other side because it was either in the owl, monkey, whatever it is, or the wings that those colors were in. The owl monkey. I like that, the owl monkey. This one is going to be so sparkly. Today wasn't very sunny, but tomorrow, if it's sunny, I will take it over into the sun and get a picture of it. And that way you can see how sparkly it is. Because it does sparkle. Who all do you watch? I watch Mrs. Coffee. I watch Rachel Ray, Diamonds and Washi, Gracie, Lizette, Ruby Q, Jeremy. I'm trying to think if there's any others that I watch religiously. But I'll just put them on in the background because really there's nothing on TV I want to watch half the time. And so I'll just put them on in the background and listen to them. They're very good enablers. Oh my God, I bought so much stuff. So much stuff. Some stuff I liked. Some stuff I found I didn't like. But I tried it. I definitely tried it. Got some trays I would love to get, but I can never get in on the drop. Being Mooney Maid, I would love, but I liked her. Well, I liked her trays, and I liked Bella Nicole's first run of trays. I'm not real thrilled with the second run of trays. I like the little hole in the side instead of the spout. I wish I knew how to get your money back from Etsy because I bought some trays from one seller and he went on vacation and he came back and he said, well, I'm going to get caught up. And I've never heard from him again. I never got a refund and I never got my trays. So evidently he was so behind he just gave up, but he never paid everybody back. You know, and that comes to like $20, so you could use that $20 for something else. At least I know I could. No, I could. And I love Mrs. Coffee's ferrets, but I don't think I need ferrets because supposedly she was saying they eat cats, and I got a cat, and I don't think I want her to eat Luna. That might not be a good thing, but then Luna's nuts, kind of like Mary Jane. So, you know, it might be a fair game. Last night she was in there whacking at my foot while I was trying to sleep. Then she crawled underneath the covers and whacked the dog on the head. He just looked at her like, you need to go away. It was kind of neat. When I brought her in the house, they never barked at her. They never growled at her. They never chased her. And she was a teeny tiny kitten. I mean, she could have been a Scooby snack. So I was really proud of the dogs because they didn't do anything to her. Now, she did them. They'd be laying there and she'd jump up on their head, you know, bite them on the ear, hang on their head, and then run off. And it's like, dog, they're going to get you. Stop. Or cat, stop. But they've been really good. They just kind of look at her like, go away. Which is surprising. This is coming right along. When I get done with the bling in these today, I think I'll be done with this one for the day. There's that part of the tail. And I am shedding. Don't have to worry about my dog shedding. I'm shedding. It's pretty bad when you're shedding as bad as the dogs are. There we go. And then there's going to be some up here somewhere in the middle. In the middle right there. And then I think that we're done. Done. Oh, Lord. Okay, I think I might be at the stopping point. Hi, guys. These are my wonderful green and yellow reading glasses. I'm just going to put this end on because it died. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, hit the like button. That way you'll see more of me. It'll get me out there in the analytics. I will talk to y'all later, and this was Whippin' Chap 2 for Blinging in the New Year. Bye!